Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to Adventures in Gaming. We have a very special guest today, our first guest. So I'm going to shoot it over to Matty T so he can introduce his guests. Matty T, who do you got with us today?
Yeah, welcome back, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. We have a special guest, my good friend Gamma.
That's me.
It's you. He's gonna
Emma.
talk to us today about some of his favorite memories growing up playing games, and he's got a cool game to check out. I think you almost also counted this kind of as a hidden gems game.
I did. It's the
Yeah, there you go.
it's like awesome one, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Nice. Okay, so we're going to go and get right into this gameplay, and we'll see you in a second. Yo, so we're back. We are playing Gamma's Choice. And Gamma, tell us about this game and why did you choose this game?
Throw Galaxy, dude. It's a space adventure. It's a JRPG. Came out in, hold on, I have the case too.
2006.
Yeah.
Looks like.
Yeah, man. It's been a while. It's PS2. No, the golden age. Let's call it that, right?
Yes.
PS2 is
And
the spot.
might I say I'm a huge RPG fan, especially the PS2 era. That's why I play them on my channel. So great game choice too.
It's underrated. I haven't met anybody who actually knows what this game is. I'm gonna go.
Funny enough, are you playing this on the PS5?
I am.
Yeah, so I have this on the PS4. So I love this game.
Everywhere I get it, man, it is. Or everywhere I can get it. You know, I've had it on the 2, obviously I got the case right here. I got on the 4, I got on the 5 now. It's so good. It's so underrated. It looks good for, being 2006. It's got that cartoon look, but look, like you got the CGI cutscene. The only other thing that was doing this at the time was, Final Fantasy X, not given. They were a little more realistic, but you can't knock out the looks. I would watch a movie that looks like this.
I mean, the cell shading really ages super well.
Yeah, I always notice when you go cell shaded, it usually holds up pretty well.
It holds up.
I love that.
Yeah, and I gotta admit, when I was younger and more ignorant, I saw cell shading. I was like, "This is stupid, man. This one's my games. I want hand drawn." And it's like, now, you know what? Good call. I can admit I was wrong. Cell shading looks great,
and that's how it is, though. With everyone nowadays is trying to make things so realistic, right?
The sands of time blow ceaselessly.
Voice acting. Most of this game is voice acting.
It's not gonna end like this.
Yeah, I love voice acting a lot.
I'm gonna find my way out of here.
I haven't played this in quite a while. I don't even think I finished it, but this makes me want to do so.
Yeah, I was telling Gamma, I remember seeing this game like on store shelves or at Blockbuster or whatever, but I never played it, and I'm like, man, I missed out. I have to go back and check it out.
Yeah, I definitely missed out too because I bought it on the PS4. I was like, what is this game? And I was like, oh man, and I loved it. That's why I started the channel too, my other channel, because I wanted to play a lot of the RPG games that I missed out on back in the day, especially PS2 ones, because there's a ton of RPG games in PS2.
He's one of the galaxy's top
like I said, PS2 is the golden age, right? Everything was coming out.
Oh yeah.
I think if there's something
Can't
for
believe he'd be
anybody
wasting his
on
time
PS2.
on this sleeve
And this, but then that's where you get things like this that get under the radar
My
and you miss out
instincts
on.
are infallible.
Now what, choosing this game, I mean, what is your fondest memories with this game?
I'm an only child. I was very shy growing up. So I needed this kind of game to, I needed something to look forward to. This is it. It's a cheap game. I got it for $10. I have the sticker on here. I was pre-owned for $10. And
I know.
so I didn't have a lot of money. I didn't have a lot of friends. This is what I would come home and do. So I'll get those underrated games sometimes.
Right. I feel that.
This one holds up so well that I can play it anytime.
Yeah, that's awesome. I was like that too. I was the same way, especially. Well, like I said, my first love was always RPG games. So, of course, I didn't get a chance to play this one back then. It was like I said, this is the one that I missed. But I think mine, like when I got into it, was like, I mean, I was playing RPGs back on PS1, but if I had PS2 RPGs were something special, like Star Ocean and the Xenosaga games.
Yeah,
man.
Oh, those are coming out.
Oh, those are great games. I highly recommend.
Okay, pal, you met your
And I'm also speaking of which, I'm going through the Dot Hack games. They were PS2. There was 2 trilogies of Dot Hack games on PS2, I'm playing the second trilogy because it was re-released on Steam. So
Besides, slaves like
fantastic
you should be
games.
grateful we even bother to share our rations.
Like you just named what 4 different JRPGs
Yeah.
I'm not doing
that
this
were
for
all
my health, you
PS2,
know.
and this stuff like this gets kind of sent under the bridge a little bit compared to other things. But like, well, every cutscene that I can think of is voice acted. I don't think there's anything that isn't. You're walking around, the characters are voice acted talking to you while you're going on your adventure. The only time
This is
that
all
isn't
that I
voice
got
acting
today.
is a random NPC.
Those
a
Longardians are
shopkeeper.
getting a little
You
too
don't
big
need
for their
that, right?
britches.
Yeah.
There
You
is
gonna
a
let them get
point
away with it?
if you're playing for too long,
No,
where I
don't
don't know
get
if
so
anyone
worked
knows
up
this
over
because
it.
I was a
It's been
single
2
child.
years since Rose
Did,
has been under
technically,
Longardian
right?
rule.
But the
We're still
characters will
struggling to
actually,
get
depending on
used to
who's in
this
your
place.
party, because
We'll get our chance soon enough.
they'll actually tell you, hey, it's been a while, you might want
Man,
to save, or
why did Rosa
hey,
have to get mixed up in this
you've been
war?
playing for a long time. Why don't you take a break and come do something else, and then you can come back. And they'll physically tell you.
It used to be such a peaceful
That's how
planet.
interactive this game is, and that makes it
The
so.
Longardians aren't all bad, though. Now,
I don't remember how far I got on this.
we never get beasts in
man.
town anymore.
I'm not sure. It's been forever since I played. Now I need to actually go through it.
Posted
Though.
there, just to keep
It
an eye
has
on
been
us.
a while for me as well. I
Seems I spoke too
I can't
soon.
remember
There's a
beating
beast
it.
in town.
I
A
got pretty
big one
far,
by the
but
looks of it.
again, if I would have been able to gone that
Alright,
far,
I'll take care
I
of
was
it.
younger.
Chester, wait.
Probably didn't
Don't
even get
worry.
there on my own.
I'll
Maybe call
behave.
my mom in, come help me or something. I don't know.
I think the reason why I like this one so much is because it reminded me kind of of Star Ocean, not not like identical, but the space traveling and
That thing?
all that, the customizable weapons.
No, it's so much is to this game.
Oh yeah, this game is fantastic. I definitely will be playing it again. Now, is this your favorite RPG, or like, do you have a favorite of all time, or?
So I don't think I could call this one my favorite. I think I like it so much because of how underrated it is. But like, I'm huge on Final Fantasy, right? Like Final Fantasy 6 or 3, whatever. One Kefka, I'll say that. That was my first game, even a JRPG, and so like Final Fantasy, that's my series,
Oh yeah, same here. I'm a Final Fantasy nerd, so I know Maddie and you guys. I know you guys, and I think Maddie plays Final Fantasy 14
Yeah.
on which I do too, but I haven't in a while. I haven't started Endwalkers yet. I mean, I plan on it at some point.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of it right now, and dude, it is good. I recommend getting
Endwalkers? Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ah, man, I'm jealous.
This is
I will at some point.
but every game is
Yeah. Yeah. Final Fantasy 14 is good. There's a series of raids in that game that are kind of based on Final Fantasy 12
Oh,
and
nice.
14, and I was like, man, I gotta go back and play 12 because I never finished it.
Yeah. 12 was a good one. It divided a lot of people, but I was a huge fan of Fran because she was hot. So the moment Final Fantasy 14 got the Vieira race, I changed my character. So that's about how far that goes with 12.
I did not
The big fella went off toward the residential area.
Yeah.
That's
beast is
really
worth
where,
at
like,
least
I
20,000.
being
Come
able to
on.
share a game like that, and that's why streaming is so nice. Right?
20,000?
You can bring people together and enjoy
What are you, some
something,
kind
an
of
adventure
hunter?
like this
Pretty
together.
much.
I don't think I could have done that extra.
Yeah. That's kind of how I get through playing scary games, is I just do it on stream because I wouldn't do it by myself.
That's exactly why I play horror games, by the way, because
Somebody
like,
for you.
Know your way around it.
yeah, because I can play it on stream. It helps me get through it because I have company. But then people like Matty T like to scare the hell out of me. So
He has to call it out every time you do, by the way. He said, oh, you gotta go check Brain out. I'm about to go scare the shit out of you.
That's true, I do.
oh really? That's how it goes.
Not power or anything, but just know you're being called out.
Oh, yeah, we'll be cool, man.
Yeah, that's good to know. I'm glad that you gotta let it be known. Everybody, let's go watch Rain pee himself. Yeah.
Another thing about it is it's live combat, right? I'm not doing turn-based. Turn-based is awesome. I love it, but for this game, you're able to run around the area that you just encountered something, and nothing changes. Like you were just fighting where you were standing, and you have two weapons. You have your main weapon. In this case, it's a sword, and then their offhand. In this case, he uses a pistol. But like, you're not locked to this character by any means.
Yeah.
Once you unlock more characters, you can play them. If Jaster dies, it just swaps to another character.
Oh, yeah?
I keep playing.
That's cool.
You know, it's not a lot. Like Final Fantasy 13.
Oh
stopped
my
it.
gosh, yeah. Your main person dies, and it's like, wait, those other people can heal me though. Like,
I was gonna say that's why I love the Tales games and like stuff like that, because it's like, what do they call it, like encounter-based combat or something, where like, you know, it's not random encounters. I hate random encounters. Like I was just mentioning this to someone because they were playing Shadow Hearts, right, which is a really good series, but there was random encounters like every 5 steps boss, every 5 steps fight. And I was just like, I love old school RPGs, but man, do random encounters suck.
yeah.
Damn it.
What's
What's going on here? Why did you let that?
But I love that type of combat though,
fun.
especially the combat where you can run up on an enemy and you can hit them. You don't have to actually like
Here we go.
have a random encounter. You just run up and smack them, or you can invade them.
Right, yeah. Or get like special back attack damage.
Oh yeah.
Done yet?
And then I can block. You got a skill tree, but it's not. You gain experience
Yeah.
for that skill tree. You need these items. Where are you gonna get these items? Literally everywhere.
Oh yeah.
You know, off of chests, drops. It literally. I'm pretty sure there's just like regular potions can be thrown in here wherever it's needed.
Yeah. Well, and it's cool to see something kind of different rather than just a fixed. I guess it's a semi-fixed progression, but having to search it out to get progression and not just be handed it. I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Ooh, it's awfully noisy all of a sudden.
It sucks because there was no other games like this, and or no other games in the series. I mean, I would have loved to have seen another one.
It went under the radar too far. I mean, I don't know how well the sales did for it exactly, but like I said, I don't really know anybody who knows of this game.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's, you know, well, kind of like the Shadow Hearts series, though it spawned like 4 sequels, but it, like the first Shadow Hearts came out like when Final Fantasy X released.
It came out before it because I was waiting for Final Fantasy X. I was like, well, I want to get into play. I was like, oh, an RPG looks interesting, and she's got a short skirt on the cover.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, I remember that.
I ended up really liking it.
Yeah, I loved it. I actually decided to go back through the series on the channel. And I'm like, because I never got through the other one, so I'm just like, yeah, I'll do that at some point.
Yeah.
Funny enough, there is a prequel game to Shadow Hearts.
Kudelka, isn't it?
Yeah, Kudelka, yeah, on the PS1, which I never even knew until just like probably last year. I was like, I didn't know. So I might have to go back through that and try it because I've never played Kudelka.
Yeah, after playing Shadow Hearts, I've looked up more about the game and I found that out. I never went back and played it.
Really?
And then I knew they made a second one that I never played. I don't know why. I think I was in nursing school.
Yeah.
So I didn't do anything.
Now we go our separate ways.
What?
And
What do you mean?
Yeah,
so I never,
they have a Shadow Hearts 2 and 3, actually.
I didn't really have a
Just
third
go
one
into
either.
the residential area.
Yeah, there's Shadow Hearts Covenant, and then there's Shadow Hearts from the New World.
Hey,
Ooh, nice.
hold on a second.
Yeah. So I'm anxious. I can't wait to try those at some
A
point.
lot of
but-
games you could be playing. Right
I know. I gotta get a
Try
list
this.
going.
It's much better than that. But
See, this is the exact reason why I started the channel, because it forces me to go through the games that I want to play or finish. It, especially the RPGs, it just makes me go through a backlog.
Yeah.
So, you know, this is the exact reason why I played Dragon Quest 11 and Dot Hack and Tales games. So, and Artanelico on the PS2, which is underrated as hell too.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. I gotta look it up. And
Oh, dude, I have a list of RPGs for you, bro.
it'll capture the
A whole
fight from
list.
start to finish.
You seen the horror game list? We have an RPG list too.
Go
I'm
on.
just saying.
Take it with you.
Nice.
See you later.
Yeah.
Now, what's your favorite part about this game, though? Like, I know you mentioned just how underrated it is, but I would have to say for me, the combat for sure. I
Well,
like.
combat's fantastic. You can't knock the story either.
Yeah,
I also said, you know, I love how this game looks. It holds up, right? I think all that together
Damn it.
makes this really special.
Fine.
But
Can't scare me.
it's also the characters. The farther you go in your journey,
Bring
you
it
know, you
on.
learn more about them. You know, you
Fellas.
learn things that you didn't expect. There's a lot of suspense in this kind of game too, and
yeah.
there's just so much to it. I'm gonna die apparently. I'm gonna throw this using ability too. But like, it's so flashy. I love how this game represents itself, and nobody else.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the voice acting is that easy.
Right.
Oh yeah, voice acting's superb. I agree. I had a conversation with someone just literally yesterday because she was playing Shadow Hearts like we were discussing, but we were in this conversation about no matter how good like RPGs, modern RPGs or JRPGs they are, how great they are maybe today, I think they're missing something. I don't know. We just had this conversation. Like, I think they're missing something nowadays, or it could be a whole nostalgia trip for us. What do you think? Like, what do you think about RPGs today?
Dude? Oh my god.
You gotta take it out.
Oh man.
And that shows the difference,
Oh man.
right? I am one dude. These guys show up out of nowhere and just destroyed me. And that's also what's nice. It's a level of challenge.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is challenging.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of embarrassing, but you know, whatever. It's part of the game, right?
Yeah.
Trust me, I've got my butt kicked in the beginning of this too. You're the only one.
I'm sorry. Did you ask me a question? I was so focused.
Oh, dude, you're fine. No, I was saying I had this conversation with someone, and we were talking about modern RPGs versus old RPGs, and we were just saying that like I think older RPGs just are missing something compared to newer RPGs. And what is your take on that? Like, do you agree, or do you think maybe it's just like kind of a nostalgia trip for most people that say that?
I don't think that's wrong to assume. Like I was even saying, like I got the case right here, right? You don't have manuals anymore, first of all.
Yeah, that's
This
true.
manual has, you know, like a little synopsis of the story to get involved in it before you even start.
Yeah.
It's got all the main characters in here. You can read a little backstory, and everything now feels very straightforward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I have to agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Or they put it in game in either a tutorial that you can skip or just like
Or
data logs or something that can be easily skipped and missed. And I mean,
yeah.
everybody reads a manual either, but I feel like they just, we'll just put it in the game, especially tutorials and things, which, I mean, tutorials, sometimes the tutorial balance can be really hard to strike because
Right.
you want to guide the player how to play the game, but also you don't want it to hold their hand too long and get fed up. But
Yeah. I agree. Because I think, especially back then, I used to read the manuals. You know what I mean? I would sit and chill and just check out the manual. That was just me, but I think they're missing stuff. And when you're talking about like the lore and like the intro stuff, take Final Fantasy 15 for instance. Though you kind of knew what was going on, but if you really wanted to know more about the lore, like you would actually have to watch the movie that came out before it, which really didn't make sense to me anyway. But Final Fantasy 15 is a whole new story. But you know, with the way they do things, and I mean, I get they want to change things up because you know Final Fantasy 16 will be out soon, and it looks dope. Yeah, it looks like it kind of looks like Devil May Cry. I don't know, but I mean, you know, I'm pretty sure it'll be a fantastic game. But I think also RPG games nowadays are really linear, and there's not a lot of exploration anymore. It's just kind of like, you know, go from point A to point B, fight boss, story, cutscene.
I agree. And, like,
You know,
there's this like you have the battle reporter, right? Usually you get rewards for like, you know, beat this monster X amount of times, but like they're giving you a ranking system for all these completely fake people in this world and game, or this galaxy rather. like some of these names are funny. Mr. Salamander.
Nice.
And
Yeah.
let's see, 50 you'll get a reward. And there's like this ranking system, like based on how well everybody else in this galaxy is doing. And like that's
Yeah.
like I can get a reward defeating 30 Bafus, right?
Yeah.
That gives me something to work for, you know. I'm not just
Right.
reason. It's
Yeah.
giving me something to go for.
Yeah, see, that's what I like. I like exploration. I like more stuff in the games that, stuff that can also add to the story too, or like unlocking extra whatever. Like Final Fantasy, I think you should do that so perfectly where if you needed the ultimate weapons, you could unlock the ultimate weapons for every character, and you'd have to go and do something different each time, like for each character, or something to add to the story that unlock extra summons or like whatever there is,
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, I think for sure, I think that games are linear these days. So
So here my sword is max, okay, the skills,
Yeah.
and you need your weapon or whatever it is to be maxed out before you can combine it with something. So like
oh yeah,
there's a reason to use all the weapons. See what you like, see what you don't like. When you don't like it, get it maxed out, fuse it with something else, get something new. And that's for every character. Like every character's weapons will do that. So it's worth collecting all these things, seeing what you can mix up, seeing what you can figure out. Like you don't get that a lot. That's what makes this so special.
Different from
Is
Rosa.
you have so many options to do so many things. I don't need to play the chest right now. There's a button somewhere around here where I can switch characters if I can figure it out. Like I don't need to watch a new character. Oh, I rated this. Who do I want to control? Do I want to control Zegrum or Kisala? Like, hey, Zegrum's my favorite character. I love how he looks. Okay, we go run around and
right.
he's a pirate, got an eye patch and all that. What a cool dude. All right, cool. We go.
Yeah.
Let's hurry and find someone.
Yeah, see, that's pretty. Yeah, that's awesome. That's why, like I said, I love these old school type RPGs. There's so much to them. Like another one I might talk about as well. I don't know if you've ever played them. There was one on PS1, one on PS2.
Now we
They were the
gotta
Legend of
set you right.
Legaia series.
Mm-hmm.
I know of them. I know
Those-
what you're talking about.
Yeah, fantastic games. Highly recommend. Part 2 didn't do so well, but it was still a great game. It's a cult classic. I mean, one thing I loved about it is you can make up your own
It should be
combos.
full of fire
So,
fruit.
and if you depending on the
What's going
number
on?
of, or depending on the combination you input could unlock a special
But
move,
someone have already
and you didn't know what that was
That's
because
impossible.
the book didn't come with like a list of moves you should learn or do.
Maybe
You just had to put in the right combinations, and once you put in that right combination, you have that combination unlocked for the rest of the game. But you just had to figure out what combinations were cool and worked and could potentially unlock a cool new art. I love stuff like that, especially about combat.
You have to. A lot of games now
Alright,
are like,
let's get this over
hey,
with.
this is literally everything you need to know about this game right at the start.
Yeah.
It doesn't give you a
Yeah.
sense of like, you accomplished something because you figured it out, because it was already shown to you, and now you just got to use whatever you know, which isn't bad, not for all games. Like a fighting game, please tell me how to play this
Right,
game,
yeah.
otherwise I'm destroyed.
Yeah.
But for something like this, like exploration is a part of it, and I feel like that should be incorporated along with you learning the skills and or whatever it is, combinations,
Right.
what game it is. And
Yeah.
it just feels like that's missing too. You're not getting the full experience if you're not learning with the character.
Right.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, and that's what I like. Yeah, the combos. Another game like that, even though it wasn't finished, I don't think I've ever beat it anyway, was Xenogears on the PS1. Fantastic game. I played a little bit of it, but I actually heard it's a 2-disc game, but it's actually not finished. And I guess it's one of the first games back in the day that was unfinished on release. I don't know why, but yeah. But it also had a system like that where you made up your own combos and things like that.
Beast.
But I mean, PS2 was definitely a great era for RPGs,
One from the
hands down.
game and having characters who actually are
Does this
useful.
fireproof look like again?
That the ones that
Yes.
please give me more of that, because
Yes.
wow, I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but there are so many times where I'm like, this side character who's in my party right now needs to do something, otherwise I don't want him. Get him out of here.
Yeah, well, like, that was Ket for me in Final Fantasy VII, or Kate Sith.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, I didn't like him either.
yeah, you helped us escape from the one pyramid thing. That's great, but then I never used you again. Like,
Well, that's kind of like, speaking of Final Fantasy, that's kind of like how I felt about Kamari from Final Fantasy X. I don't know. Yeah. I'm not saying Kamari wasn't useful, but I didn't use him because he pretty much had the same, like he could pretty much have everybody's abilities, and he was kind of like backup if like everyone else died type of deal, right? Like I really didn't use him or I want to say that's not true about Waka because I used Waka, but I would say probably Lulu, though Lulu was hot. I think Waka understood the plan. The Final Fantasy X too, he's got her pregnant.
I'm not thinking, I mean, this is in the last battle, just something to point out. It's like, I'm not just blindly swinging at all these enemies. The last ones I had to jump on before I could even bang them.
Just leave it at that.
Like little things like that, just
Right.
something different.
yeah.
There's not a lot.
Right. Yeah.
I was just go up, just swing at this thing a million times.
Literally hack and slash.
The first boss, which I go off, you had
Which is fantastic too. Like I was talking about Legend of Legaia 2. Like if when you had your combos were high, low, left, right, and depending on the type of enemy, if they were flying, you couldn't hit low. If they were hot, short, you couldn't hit high. Like they gave detail to that. I love stuff like that. So you had to plan out your strategies on how you were going to fight enemies.
Right. And that's why I say the PS2 is a golden age, right? It's not just because it had everything, and not everything in the world came out for this, but it's because of the detail that came out in these games.
What are they
They're
doing?
just that good to where that system really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like
Now I have a.
they could cap.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I was gonna say the scope they could capture in games on PS2 just seems so much larger than.
Yeah.
Or I mean, and I know it was like that too from like SNES to like to the N64. Like you think Super Mario World,
They're gone.
huge game, but then you think Mario 64, and I mean that. As much as I hate that game because I can't function in 3D worlds, it was something special.
Seconds flat.
And like,
Yeah.
you knew you were playing something special when you played it, and that's kind of like that scope from that to that is
Should we
even
hightail
bigger
it?
from PlayStation to PlayStation 2. I feel, especially
People
games like
are
this
around.
show it off.
There ought to be a village.
Yeah.
We might be able
That's
to
true. And it's funny you say that about Mario 64 because I know you said that about 3D Spaces before. That's a memorable game for me too.
still people.
If I had to pick one though, and I'll ask you guys the same
That'd be
question.
nice.
There's a PS2 RPG that I probably people call the worst ever PS2 game or worst ever PS2 RPG, and I'll ask you which one was your worst RPG in general. Mine was Evergrace. I don't know if you've ever played that on PS2, but it was really bad.
Never heard of it.
No.
So you can look it up. I mean, I haven't really met anybody who liked it. It had you had a choice between a male and a female protagonist. They had two different stories, and it kind of intertwined here and there. But I mean, the gameplay in the story was really horrible, and it just wasn't memorable at all. And when it comes to like, when it comes to like top 10 lists, you can search anywhere like on YouTube for like worst RPGs or worst PS2 games. Evergrace is in there like every time. So to me, that's one of the worst like RPGs I've probably played, and it was on PS2. But what is it with you? What are the RPGs that you did not like at all?
Dude, go ahead. I gotta take a minute to think
Okay,
about that.
I've got mine. I knew as soon as you said worst RPG of all time, I already had my answer.
Normally there would
I talked about it a little bit before. I think on the first podcast, we were talking about like what game we were most disappointed in. It was Quest 64 on the N64.
Oh yeah,
Terrible. It just wasn't good. It wasn't good.
yeah.
Like the spell mechanic was all wrong. The battle arena, I guess, was okay because you move around on, I think, hexagons. You got to get close to the enemies to attack, which, okay, that kind of makes sense. But it was. I hated it. I hated everything about it. Money on it.
Yeah.
Man.
Why did they even
As far as
bother
PS2 goes, I don't know that I played a whole lot of RPGs on PS2, to be honest.
Yeah.
outside
Don't
of
go running off
like
just
Final Fantasy X and Shadow Hearts. And yeah, that might be it.
You know, yeah, that's funny because I'm the same way. That's why I'm going back through all of those.
Right? Yeah, I definitely gotta go back to this a lot.
Conqua must have put it here.
I think it's because when PS2 hit, I was already into survival horror and action. So
No ordinary human can
Yeah,
move this
Resident Evil 4, man, that was
monstrosity.
huge
Yeah.
for PS2.
oh
How
yeah.
about
Dude,
someone with
that was
superhuman
it.
strength?
Right.
If I had to pick, I'm gonna be that guy, and
You
I'm gonna
see
call it
anyone
Final
like that
Fantasy
around
X.
here?
It's all right.
Yeah.
Cursed.
Later.
What a
Let's find
mess!
another route.
What an absolute mess of a game. That story, I wasn't with it. You know, the combat wasn't bad. I liked how you could change you could pretty much were changing classes in battle.
Yeah.
That was the redeeming factor of that game, was the combat.
Yeah.
Everything else, I don't want it. I don't want it. Put the combat into a different game, please.
What about Blitz?
Oh, Blitzball is no. Listen, that's good. It's on the spin-off.
Yeah, I know people are torn with that one.
Oh yeah,
You won.
yeah. Gamma streamed 10 on his channel, and he did the whole Blitzball tournament, and he was just like basically shoutcasting the games, and it was fun watching somebody stream. It was so good.
I'll tell you, I get what you're. I understand where you're coming from though, because it is a divisive. Final Fantasy X is very divisive out of all of the series, and I did enjoy it, but I think it was one of the first in the series to start going linear because
10 was fun.
it was just
10-2
it was very.
so much work.
10-2 was good too. I actually liked 10-2.
I
But-
don't mind it. I like the combat a lot, but like it was so messy. You had all these options of knowing like you could go
Yeah.
here and here. Well, here as a boss, that if you don't grind or if you don't get the things that you need, you are going to lose. And it just feels like, well, why
Yeah.
go through this quest line
Right.
just to get
I
my
wonder
ass
how
kicked
far
for
we've
nothing?
Yeah, I feel that because 10, it was very linear, but it was I get what you're saying though, because there was a lot of it was I enjoyed it, but it was very straight, kind of like forward the story. I like I'll give you a fun fact though that most people don't know about Final Fantasy X. There was an interview I was watching this game channel, I don't remember what, but they were interviewing the creator of the Final Fantasy games, and the guy that created the Final Fantasy games admitted that Final Fantasy X and Final Fantasy VII are in the same universe.
Take care of this before
Really?
anything
Oh, yeah?
happens.
Yeah. So that just blew everyone's mind that knew about this when they did the interview, and it blew my mind. I was like, what?
Yeah.
So, but because there was a conspiracy about it, like a theory, like it was like people were like, I don't know, this seems kind of like odd. So I don't necessarily know how they piece those two together because I'm not that smart to do so. But people have been speculating that for years, and they finally asked the guy, like, hey, is it the same? They're like, yeah, they're in the same universe. I'm like,
Hear me
what?
out, right?
Yeah.
Fantasy X,
Funny enough.
because of all the machina, that was controlling it. Final Fantasy VII had a lot of machines and
That's
stuff.
true. That's true.
And could
That's very true.
and the downfall of all the machines and stuff. He's gonna put it out there.
Yeah.
Very true. Very true. And they actually admitted probably last year that they have a story for Final Fantasy X-3, so who knows? But I agree. I get what you're saying about Final Fantasy X though. Like I loved it, but it is very divisive. It's it's got its fans. Blitzball, yeah, definitely. I wasn't necessarily a fan of Blitzball, but I actually conquered that game, so I was really good at the Blitzball, and I had like all the Al Bhed books, and like I beat the crap out of it. But, yeah, I get what you mean though.
For being linear, 10 was a great game because it made it feel like you were still, exploring, and you didn't know what was to come. So, and there was some little areas to go. Oh, I can do that.
Yeah. So speaking of Final Fantasy though, what are your guys' favorite Final Fantasies?
Chrono Trigger.
Square?
No, my joke is I always ask. My joke is, what is the best Final Fantasy and why is it Chrono Trigger? I know that's not true. My favorite, 14 not included, just because I played a lot of that.
Right.
Probably 8. I can't defend it to a lot of people who just don't like the junction system, and I get it. The junction system compared to the materia system, so clunky and
Yeah.
great, but the story, the characters, I love. Eight's my answer.
I give you that too. Besides 7, 8 is my favorite. It goes this way. It goes Final Fantasy 8 first, 7, 10, and 12. Now, 8, I like the junction system once I was able to, like, once I figured it out. It is clunky though, but I don't know. I loved it. The story was fantastic. I defend Final Fantasy 8 till I die. I don't care. That's also my favorite.
8 was the first game I streamed.
Oh yeah.
Nobody watched it. I was new to streaming, so nobody knows about it.
Yeah.
But it was the first. I enjoyed it.
Nice.
I'm not gonna say it's my favorite though.
Yeah.
9.
I like
Yeah.
9 too.
9 is so good. Do you know they're making a show based off of
I
it?
did not.
What do you think
Oh.
you're doing?
Yeah.
So excited.
That's awesome.
But besides that,
I-
we're like sick.
Yeah.
So many
Well,
characters.
Sorry about that.
that's funny. 9. I mean, I like 9. It's okay, but yeah, I never considered it a favorite. I don't know why. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was because I didn't like Zidane or whatever his name is. I don't know.
I haven't talked to anyone in ages.
It's the Dawn. Actually, I learned that from
Oh, yeah?
Dissidia.
Ah.
They actually said his name. I'm like, no, it's the name.
Yeah, it's
I don't
Zidane.
care what you're saying.
That's right.
Zidane. Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, I had it wrong the whole time. I don't know. But there's a cool Final Fantasy game you guys can get. I think it's on PC now, but it used to be on mobile. It's like Brave Exvius. It's like got like all the Final Fantasy characters in it in like one game.
Punishment for breaking a
Oh, yeah,
village
yeah.
rule. It's a horrible
But yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, 6.
tinkering with machines.
It's one of those ones I played it so long ago. I need to go back and play it again because it's so good, and it was multiplayer.
Yes. That's what it was.
Yeah, I had the PS1 versions of Final Fantasy Anthology or whatever it was. It was Final Fantasy 5 and 6, and it had like the new they added new like FMV scenes and
Yeah.
all of that stuff into it. You guys remember that one?
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
I do.
They had just the 2 anthologies, right?
Yeah, they had that, and they had Final Fantasy
Yeah.
Chronicles as well, which had Final Fantasy 2.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh,
That's right.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, I only had one. Yeah, I only had the anthology one. I think the one whatever 5 and 6 was. But yeah, I have Final Fantasy everywhere though. Like I've never not gotten a Final Fantasy. So because that's why I'm a little butthurt. I don't have a PS5 right now, so I'm not going to be able to get Final Fantasy 16 yet. So I'll have to wait until it hits PC, which I'm fine with. But I'm just like kind of butthurt a little bit. Like, damn.
not the twice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm ready for it. I got the 5 sitting here.
Well, I mean, well, it's in my.
Oh, I know.
It is in your house. You can go
You can leave, but that's gonna stay.
I'm just so butthurt about it. I'm like, no. But hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, Final Fantasy 16 looks pretty dope, though. I have to admit.
Yeah.
5 is
5
is an underrated one.
I don't remember 5.
yeah.
You gotta.
I gotta go back and play it.
You good? See, that's another one. I don't know what I just did.
You just reset the whole
I
thing.
think I.
Yeah, it looks like you went back to the menu. Yeah.
That's- oh,
Hey, that's all good, man.
That's right. You're so flexing your
The thing-
PlayStation over there.
yeah, I'm really showing how professional I am.
Yeah. Now, when it comes to the PS, well, like buying these old RPGs on the PS5 or 4, which I did. Have you? There was one that I bought that I never even heard of until I had a PS4 because they like upscaled it or like had an HD remaster, but it was called Residence of Fate. Don't know if you've heard of that, but it's pretty. Well, it's cool. It's not the best. It's like underrated, kind of like Rogue Galaxy in a way. It's
That's what's nice about the PS5 is the classic catalog that they
Yeah.
have on there in that store.
Yeah.
It is so.
oh yeah.
It brings like anything you can imagine, like this. The Rogue Galaxy is on there. I want to get the upgraded membership so I can play Asura's Wrath because I know that game is over the top. It's crazy. It looks so
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
And if you
See,
chance to do anything,
yeah, I think the classic stuff, man, I would love to see that and also Xbox's stuff. Though I haven't found this game on Xbox Game Pass, but there's an RPG that was on Xbox that I can't get anywhere else but Xbox that I know of. But it's called The Last Remnant from the Ashes. And it's so fantastic. And I lost that game. I don't know whatever happened to it, but if I ever find that game, I want to go through that game because it was so cool.
Come on, try me.
at this point, I'm just abusing this ability. Just clean up house from.
That's right.
You know, you need it sometimes. Like I said, the further you get in this game, the difficulty does go up. You start thinking of this as more tutorial, because when you hit like chapter 3, it's on. It is on.
And also, just to oh, go ahead.
I was gonna ask Gamma how old he was when he first started. How old were you first started gaming?
So I don't know if I can count Final Fantasy VI when I started gaming. I was 2, 3 when my dad was playing that game. I would just be sitting there watching.
Yeah.
I think with the Sega Dreamcast and Sonic Adventure, actually, that's kind of where I really got into stuff. That's the first game I ever beat with Sonic Adventure. Going over to other people's houses, I'm just letting her get pummeled. I feel so bad. But that's really where it started. And so, I don't even know when it was, like in the late 90s, like 2000, somewhere around there.
Dreamcast, like what, 99, 2000?
Yeah, something like that. So I think that's really where it came from. And like Final Fantasy, I knew it because my dad was playing it.
Yeah.
And I would go visit him. Then he got Final Fantasy X. I'm like, this series is just that good. You know, he jumped from 1
Oh yeah.
6 to 10, and like there's so much in between that I don't know. I want to know more.
Right.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, Final Fantasy. Yeah, I think Final Fantasy it's one of those games where a lot of people, that's probably where they started with games, are getting really into, well, story games in general, right? I love Final Fantasy. I could talk. That could be a whole episode. Yeah. I'm just telling you, I could talk about Final Fantasy forever. I mean, that's a whole thing, dude. Which I plan on going through all the Final Fantasy again at some point, because I forget some of them, the older ones anyway.
It's a great refresher, find out where it all started, Even one.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's so basic. Yeah. There's nothing really to that game, but because of the story, and you can explore and all this stuff.
Yeah.
That's what makes those so special. That's what I don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I need to go further.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's weird. I think with, like, for Final Fantasy, I think what was the first Final Fantasy I played? Yeah, first Final Fantasy I actually did play was 7. And then after 7, while I was waiting on 8, because I heard of 8 coming out, I was able to go back and play some of the old ones.
Duster, wait.
So that's how I started falling in love with it. Funny enough, if you ever play Mario RPG on the SNES, there's a Final Fantasy boss.
There is.
Yeah. Culex.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
What a game.
I never beat him. That damn thing.
What are they?
Still haven't.
Powered and practically invincible. I saved all those. Wiping 100%.
Nice.
Cutscene, but we actually got a glove that'll let us, lift boulders if we want.
Oh, nice.
Just so happened.
Oh, like Zelda. Just so happens you got a Zelda glove.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's called the Power Glove.
It is, yeah.
The Power Glove, from Zelda, yeah. Power Glove. And speaking of Zelda, a great RPG too. That was probably actually one of the first RPGs, just because I remember I had it on the NES.
Yeah.
And I remember I got my ass kicked because my cousin played it a lot, and he had like a whole bunch of shit, and I didn't know about the hold reset power thing.
Oh yeah.
So it was just power, and he lost his save data.
He was not happy with you.
Yeah, I'm surprised I didn't die. Let's just put it like that. I'm just surprised I'm still alive to this day.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a lot of progress. I remember that. Speaking of Zelda, the new Zelda is out, and I've been playing it, and it's pretty dope.
Is it good?
So, oh yeah, it's fantastic. The only difference is it's kind of weird because it serves, if I remember, it's a prequel to Breath of the Wild. So it's kind of odd, like, because of some of the new abilities and shit that you get in there, and it's like, I wish they would have added that to the other one. But,
Yeah, that's interesting.
Nothing but
Yeah, but it's really good. I'm enjoying it so far. I'm not like really far or anything, so
Here they come.
Well, yeah, so I gotta wait till payday to pick it up, and but I was also
oh yeah, you gotta let me know how you like it.
yeah, but I was also like, well, I got so much stuff in the backlog that do I pick it up,
Oh yeah, of course.
ignore it for a little while, or pick it up and play it and ignore everything else that I'm currently playing? Because I picked up, it's in early access right now, Tape to Tape, which is a
Oh yeah.
light hockey game, and dude, I'm addicted to it. It is so much fun.
Yeah, I was watching you stream that. It looked pretty dope. It reminded me of Blades of Steel.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of like NHL '94 or
and there's an
Mutant League
reference to that,
Hockey.
yeah.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
You get the dash. This is dash like it's
Fire fruit
94.
anywhere.
So it's really.
You know,
We played that.
that's funny because sports games I've never been a fan of except for back in the day when they had like double dribble and
Yeah.
you know Blades is Steel and Larry versus Bird. And,
Dude, Jordan vs. Bird was so good.
oh, Larry versus Bird was fantastic. I remember that, and there was. You guys remember? I don't know what one it was, but one of the Madden games was so funny. And this I think it was on the Sega Genesis, but it was the Sega where you would get injured on the field, and then ambulance would run on the field, and they would run over all the players trying to get to the injured player.
I know what you're talking
I know what
about.
you're talking about.
I this, but
I can't remember what it was, but I know what you're talking about.
Every single time when I talk about old sports games, I think about that because it was the funniest shit I've ever seen.
Yeah, and I tell you, the football game on the Genesis that I played the most of was Joe Montana Sports Talk Football 2.
Oh, I had that.
It was so good.
I had a lot of them, funny enough, back then, and I don't even know why. Because I mean, don't get me wrong, I was into sports, but it was really weird because I had Tecmo Super Bowl, which was probably one of my favorites.
Yeah,
And then we had there was this one called Quarterback Club.
yeah.
Yeah, there was that one. Joe Montana's football. There was John Elway's football. And Troy Aikman football. Like, I guess everyone had to have their own
That's right.
hit football game. Like, you know, Madden's like, well, if Madden can do it, I can. You know,
Yeah.
whatever. But yeah, it was.
if it's in category or not, but it's a sport, right? Wrestling.
Oh,
Every
yeah.
wrestling game is
Oh,
fun.
Yes.
Whether you're making your own
yes.
the guys that are already in it, just going in and beating the absolute hell out of somebody, smacking somebody up
Oh,
the chair.
wrestling was great. Oh, I love the wrestling games.
So good.
Yeah.
And you don't even need to know anything about wrestling to like that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you just mash buttons.
The one-
It's got a little bit different, but yeah.
Yeah.
I want to ask you if you know this because there's a wrestling game, an old school wrestling game. I don't remember. I want to say it's Saturday Night Slam Masters, but I remember on the NES you would do it if you did a special move, it would do a cutscene, and it would show this really cool move you would do. I don't know. It was just the greatest thing ever as a kid,
I don't know.
and I'm trying to remember it because it was on the
Running
NES.
off just anywhere. All right,
I don't know if I
let's
remember
get this
that.
over with.
There was so many wrestling games.
Nintendo wrestling game. I can't think of a regular NES one.
See if you can take us.
I remember some NES ones, and I remember Saturday Night Slam Masters, but I don't know if I remember a cutscene from it or not. I also probably wasn't
Yeah.
enough to do a special move. So.
I can't get ready to say
That's
my
right.
life.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, gosh, there was so many. I was sitting here and I was talking with my wife a little while back. She's not like a big avid gamer like I am, but we were just talking about some of the old school games that I remember, and I was just like, man, I miss the old school games in a sense of like that excitement you got getting a game. Because I think most of the time, or maybe it was because most of the time, at least for me back then, you didn't always see the commercials for the games. You didn't know there was a game out sometimes. When you go to Blockbuster and you'd be like, what the hell is this cool looking game?
Yeah.
And you'd rent it and then you'd fall in love with it. Like, oh, this shit is great.
I was
Like,
talking to somebody the other day. I'm like, I wish there was more rental, stores around here.
Yeah.
Or, just in general. They're all gone.
yeah,
You can rent anything. You just get it online or whatever.
Right.
that'd be nice. Yeah. I do know that, as you know, I'm not in the States anymore. I'm in Canada now. So I do know that GameFly is still a thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I had it maybe in the most I've been up here for about like 4 years. I had it like 6 years ago. Again, like I had it for a while and I would quit, then I would play again. Because GameFly was trying to be hella weird because they were trying to be like Netflix, where Well, they had a PC app where you could play games and shit, and that, but it didn't work out well. But they still, GameFly still has a thing.
That might be worth looking into because I had them. I used them a long time ago, but
Here they
I
come.
rented a game from. I don't know what it was, but I ended up renting the game for like 4 months and then never played it and sent it back. So I was like, I paid all this money to not play this game.
yeah. GameFly was great, but it sucked during the PS3 era though, just because I don't know if you guys remember this, but if you wanted to play an online game, the game had like an online code you had to use in order to play online, and if it was used, you couldn't, so you had to pay like an extra $10 just to play online.
Yeah, I remember EA did that a lot because
Yeah, that was stupid. Yeah, so so there was no more online games from that shit.
I wonder what it's like.
Yeah, I'd say check out GameFly. You know, if you further a lot of the games. Now, granted, newer games and all that stuff is probably going to have a big weight on them, I'm sure. But you know, the cool thing about GameFly was if you rented the game, you know, and if you really loved it and you wanted to keep it, you could buy it.
I wonder how far
You know,
they
so-
go with what they'll send out.
Oh yeah,
Like what year or what systems they still carry.
yeah.
I'm not sure. That's interesting. That's a good question. I haven't been on there forever. I wonder.
What is all this?
Maybe some Game Boy.
Yeah,
Wonder what?
I imagine they probably still got like some old consoles like PS3, Xbox, and
Something they got.
you know, things like that maybe.
Yeah.
But you know, PS3. You know what? I have to tell you, PS3 I think was a bad era for RPG.
I think the PS3 overall didn't have much.
Good smell.
Yeah,
But I don't think there's anything really great that stood out. There's one thing.
Come on in.
Anarchy Reigns, which is kind of a sequel to Mad World off of the Wii.
Guys,
That was really
we have
fun.
another
Like Mad World
Oh.
and that, if you can play those side by side with each other, they're really
You guys are
fun.
here too? You wait outside.
yeah. I don't think I've heard of that one.
Highly recommend looking up Anarchy Reigns. And if
I'll have to check it out.
Mad World would be the first one for the Wii. And you could watch a little bit of that. Go for Anarchy Reigns, and it's like a beat 'em up. It's a 3D beat 'em up, and you play as all the characters in the game and go through the story. Each one has their own little story and stuff.
Yeah. I tell you though, I tell you what system had a lot of good RPGs. I didn't realize it until maybe a year or two late, but it was the Nintendo Wii.
Yeah.
Like it has some fantastic RPGs, and I mean incredible. I have to go back and try to play some of them because there was a few that were really innovative and really awesome. And there was one. There was one. I don't know if you guys still have the Wii's or not, or I know that the Switch has been kind of like incorporating a lot of the Wii and Wii U stuff.
Just kidding, folks.
Oh man, I have to look it up because
Behold the power of my invention.
I was in love with the game and I want to know if you guys have ever heard of it. It was called Arc Rise Fantasia.
Catch.
The name sounds familiar, but I don't know that I can tell you anything about
I
it.
got nothing.
Okay, yeah, I would say check it out I don't know if like I said, I don't know if you still have a Wii. I don't know if they put it over on the Switch maybe or whatever, but it was a really good RPG game. I recommend checking out. But I just remember I had got a Wii and we did the whole homebrew thing. Like I just remember I had like a hard drive with games on it, and we played like a lot. There was so many RPGs, it was ridiculous. And there was another one that I liked. It was kind of RPG-ish, but it was I don't remember what it was called, but you actually would control certain insects and you could fight other insects. Like you would control like a praying mantis and you had to go up against a tarantula. Like it was the weirdest thing. But yeah, Nintendo has a lot of good RPGs, man. They're stepping up their RPG game a lot more. So like Xenoblade 3 just released, which I still haven't played. A few other ones, and then there's the new Star Ocean, which I know is everywhere, but I still want to play that too. Maybe if I can get through the rest of these RPGs playing.
That's right.
There are so many good games coming out now, though. Like it really is picking back up. Because like
Yeah.
maybe a year or two ago, there really wasn't a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there were the hits that came out, but like now I feel like there's so many games that I want that I'm hearing about, and it makes me
Yeah.
happy to finally have that feeling again.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Same for me, because I'm like I said, it's RPGs and then there's horror games. Horror games have completely taken off in the past couple of years. It's like there's so many horror games and first-person horror games, it's ridiculous. And then now I'm just seeing all these RPG games coming through, and I flip and love it. Like it's fantastic. Like being able to go through the recent games besides like Dot Hack and the Tales games that I recently have been playing through. One of my favorite ones recently was Dragon Quest XI.
Here they come.
That is a fantastic game, and of course it's by Square, so,
Yeah.
or Squeenix as we call it. But if you haven't played Dragon Quest XI, I highly recommend.
Yeah. I don't think I've played one since like 5, maybe. I need to catch up on that series too.
Yeah, I remember I played the first one, but it wasn't called Dragon Quest back then. It was called Dragon Warrior
Yeah.
on the NES.
Yeah.
I think that's on the Switch now. I think this one.
Yeah. I think
I needed
so.
some exercise anyway.
Which one? Dragon Quest XI?
Oh no, just Dragon.
Yeah, the
Dragon
first-
Warrior.
Yeah, Dragon.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's one of the
Probably so. It's an NES game.
did, and I was like too little to know what I was doing. So I just,
Well, when I was little, I didn't know what I was doing either. It was a scary game for me, though. It was weird.
Special, you know.
Tell you a scary game. You want scary? Go play Donkey Kong 64 in the dark when you're 5 years old. That'll.
Oh, you want, dude? I think the scary game for me as a kid was Friday the 13th on the NES. That one, ooh, it was. You were just walking around, and then like Jason appears out of nowhere and throws something at you, and then runs away.
yeah.
Or like, there's certain sections where you go into a house, and like it turns into first-person mode because you have to. I don't know. It turns into first-person mode, and you're searching around the house. Next thing you know, you turn around and Jason's right there fighting you, and you're like, holy shit! Like, I mean, it was scary as a kid. I remember like being hella scared of that game.
Living in the jungle.
And oh, fun fact. The other game, not Friday the 13th, Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street, on the NES. I don't know if you guys ever played that, but I just found out that it's a 2-player.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, who knew? Like, I like how they don't tell us these things.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I never,
Because I just found out last year that Super Punch-Out was 2-player.
yeah. We were talking about that I think last time.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. I kind of want to do that and like test that out and try it.
Yeah.
Because like
Be playing some multiplayer on.
fine. Hell yeah, we'll have to do that sometime. We'll have to go back and we'll have to do an episode on something like that, like things we didn't know about games or something, and do a little 2-player match with Super Punch Out.
I like it. I'm in.
Oh yeah. Have you said you haven't finished this game? Is that right? Like, have you never got to the end, or how far you gotten?
I got so far. I'm pretty positive I didn't beat it. Oh look, another aspect of this game. You know what you can do? You can have Pokemon battles with bugs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. I actually remember this. Yeah.
They got
What's
everything.
with you?
No, I can't think
Kid,
of beating
what
it.
do you think you're doing here?
I feel like I've started this game up so many times, played
I'm
through,
just
you know,
collecting
so
bugs,
far.
that's all.
It's just-
Yeah.
like Final Fantasy VIII, I don't think I ever actually finished that game. I got all the way to the end, pretty sure I hit the last save, didn't fight the final boss. Maybe it's because I,
Nah.
you know?
Yeah.
That's why I
You know,
came
on a good thing.
You know what? I do that with some games. Like I get to the last part, but I don't play again because I'm afraid for it to end.
Yeah.
Like you have so much fun playing it, and you're like, I don't want it to end. You just don't play it again. I've done that before, with a few games.
So, what's your rank, kid?
I'm still a D.
Oh, I need to go through this, and this one is myself and play it. Maybe on the channel at some
You
point.
should, man. It's
What's this
fun. It's fun.
Insectron
Sweet.
thing?
It's so
An
bright and
Insector
colorful.
fighting
you know what I
competition
mean?
takes place on Zerard.
It just looks so.
Oh, yeah.
It looks
I've
so
heard the
well for
prizes are pretty fancy these
2006. You know,
days,
not
so it's
everything
gaining
looks great. It
popularity,
doesn't look
but
the
I never
best.
thought a squirt like
You
this
know,
would be
but
involved.
it holds
not
up
a
really well
squirt.
for what it is.
Well, hey, they have fully animated hands, so it looks better than
They
most.
do. They have. Pretty sure they have 5 fingers now. So yeah, look at that, 5 fingers.
Really?
Yeah.
Even better than GTA.
Oh yeah, I'd say it could be worse. I mean, you
It's my
know,
old one.
I remember, some of the other games are, their face is detailed, but the bodies are like blocks.
An insect
So,
cage?
It's a
Final
trap.
Fantasy VIII, man.
Yeah.
Put bait
Drawn
in.
on those-
oh yeah.
Exactly, the old
But-
marker face, man. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Hey,
We don't have.
Final Fantasy VIII, I considered really good advancement compared to Final Fantasy VII. I remember
Just sit there.
looking at 7 and then looking at 8, and I'm like, how the hell did you not do that the last time?
Yeah.
Like, it's on the same system.
There's all kinds of traps and
This
baits.
is good stuff.
You
Went from
have to
blocky
know
hands.
All that and where to put the trap.
Blocky
Or you'll
hands,
never
marker
touch good
face.
insector.
Yeah, right.
The dump you want?
Yeah.
Good luck, mister.
It reminds me of a meme when where it says when the PlayStation came out, we're like PS1 graphics were like, oh, these graphics are so real, and then it shows a
That's so
picture
satisfying.
of like a dude's face and PS1 graphics, and it looks so horrible. And I'm just like, yeah, we thought that was so realistic at the time.
Yeah.
A lot of
But
guys get
because back then there was another meme that says this is what we thought PlayStation 1 looked like when we were kids, and we thought it looked like what games look like now.
Right. Yeah.
And it's just that perception, man. It's all about that. We
In
just,
my brain, in my memory, that's what they look like. And then I see them, I was like, wait a minute, is that what they really look like?
yeah. I'm like, holy shit! I don't remember it looking this bad. But you still enjoy it, right?
Yeah.
Like,
not all that
Realistic as hell.
special.
You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
I'm playing a Stone Cold Steve Austin right now. And he just smashed beer.
oh,
Yeah.
And now I play. Well, I mean, it's close, I guess. He wore black trunks.
Yeah.
That was right.
yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, the wrestling games, man, that takes me back. SmackDown, Know Your Role.
Yeah.
That was my game back then.
What do you want? Only Bercoquins are allowed beyond
Even
this
like
point.
these side characters,
Go
they're
home.
fully voiced.
Wait,
and it's,
our
it's
ship
good.
broke down.
Man.
We're
Yeah.
looking for fire
Yeah,
fruit.
yeah.
Not
I love
a
it.
problem. Now go home or get hurt.
Another round
Piece
of
of friendly advice. Don't
oh,
go
Lord.
near the spring past here. Especially not today.
which means you're totally gonna go there.
Yeah, yeah. So
Just go there anyway.
don't worry, I won't be back by any means. You sure told me, guys. I'm running scared.
Right. The another series of RPG games that I really enjoy and respect are the Shin Megami Tensei games.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've played well besides Persona, but I don't know if you guys played any of those. Especially on PS2. One of my favorite on the PS2, which they actually recently remade or remastered with voice acting and all that, which was Nocturne, Shin Megami 3. I love that game, and the main reason why I love that game is because Dark Knight Dante from Devil May Cry is in it. And you can't get better than that, dude. Like, Dante was fantastic.
Yeah. When that game came out, I was assistant managing a Blockbuster because that's how cool I am.
That's the end of that.
And they gave me the video game budget every month because our manager was like, "Here, you know about video games," and so like we got whatever the store said we're gonna get, like
There isn't
But
a
then we always
single
had, like,
fire fruit anywhere.
$150 a month or something to like spend on other games that we weren't gonna get. So we got to choose what we want.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And so I'd always look up stuff. I was like, "Ooh, yep, Shin Megami, we're getting that one."
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, Shin Megami Tensei. Their games are fantastic. The ones on PS2, I haven't finished them all, but I don't even think I finished Nocturne actually. But I recommend that one. I recommend Devil Summoner 1 and 2, Digital Devil Saga 1 and 2. Those are fantastic games. And what I love about the Shin Megami games is they have a different story and a different gameplay every single game, but they keep one aspect of that game, or their series, which is you get to recruit the enemies on your team.
Yeah.
Kind of like an adult version of Pokemon. Like
Right.
you get to fight them and you weaken them and you get to ask them to join your team, and then now you can control them. And like every Shin Megami game, whether it be like Digital Devil Summoner and Persona, they all have that aspect in their games, and I love that about those games.
Think I'm
Those
gonna
are
go
heavy on
easy?
story. Though, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it by any means, but if you don't got the time to sit down
Oh, yeah.
and watch, movies with the characters. But no, they are really good.
Perfect.
That's perfect, man.
Thank you. No, you guys are perfect. The fact that you can pick up any enemy and just throw them at your will.
I like it. That's like I was perfect, but that broad's dead over there.
Yeah, I just keep letting her die. Poor Kisala, man. That's actually we find out before this in a cutscene that's the pirate captain's daughter, and I am just letting her get absolutely destroyed. Well, this is a great spot. Okay.
You know who he reminds me of? The captain there.
Is it gonna be Auron
No.
and Jack
Who?
put together?
Ooh.
Who?
Auron and Jack from Final Fantasy X together.
You know what? That's a good comparison. I can see Auron for sure. I was thinking, damn, I can't remember his name right now. He was a guy. He was a pirate that was on Chrono Cross.
Am I gonna meet the Star
I
God?
don't think.
I don't know if you played Chrono Cross.
Oh, I literally just did that part.
Oh, yeah?
Game. Oh my god, what was his name? There's so many characters in that game.
Next to
You know?
the Star God.
Dude, oh yeah, I recently played Chrono Cross on my channel as well, and like, someone asked me like, "Are you going to go back through it?" And hell no. There's like 100 characters that you can get
Dude, there's a lot.
that are recruitable on that game or something. Like, I think it's 100. Don't hold me to that. I might be over exaggerating, but
Villagers, you
Dude, I
think?
like,
couldn't tell you.
there's a ton. Like, every playthrough is different characters in different parts of the story.
Not bad, huh? Tell me, Jaster,
I can't
which
see
one's more to
Jack.
your
I
type?
cannot see that it's Jack and Auron at the same time. That was the
Yeah, no, I can't either. Thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Let's go down there and ask them where Bokakwa Village is.
yeah, that's a good idea.
Wait,
But he does look like Jack. That's a.
what tribesmen? They might attack.
That'd be funny if it was the same guy that voiced Jack.
They
I'd laugh.
don't look like the type to attack.
I feel like his voice is so familiar.
It is. Yeah.
I cannot
Burkakwa
pinpoint
anyway.
who-
Yeah.
Listen, do you
And
have
like they
any
have
idea
really
what
good
they did to
voice
me
acting,
back
so I
in the
wouldn't be
days?
surprised if it was some
These
you know,
Burkakwa creeps.
notable.
First day.
Can I also say that I'm kind of upset
Spotted.
that when it came to Final Fantasy X, can we say I'm upset that we did not get a prequel series about Jack and Auron?
I would.
Oh yeah.
It could be its own game as their,
Wait,
you know,
let us
pilgrimage
explain.
right there.
We
Yeah.
haven't-
Yeah. What I mean is like their own game. Like I would have loved to have seen like a Jack Auron,
Yeah.
Braska like story. You know what I mean? Like it'd have been cool because you know what happens to Auron anyway in Jack. So I would love to I don't know. I would love to see that incorporated. I
We
was
didn't mean to spy
kind of like
on
they
you.
should add something like
You're
that.
from Bokakwa Village, right? We'd like to
She's
go there
waiting for my
ourselves,
birthday, yeah,
but
that's all.
the
Yeah.
gatekeeper
He's
is
spiked.
away and we can't get
Cowboy
in.
Bebop.
What do you
Is it
want
really?
there?
Yeah.
No way.
Steve Bloom. Yeah, I
Our
just looked it
ship's
up.
broken
Wow.
Wow.
and we need fire fruit to fix it.
Incredible.
Wow.
We're
I see.
hoping
In
that
case you couldn't tell by
maybe we
the
could get some
vision
in
of
the
the thing
village.
creeping up, which I don't know how nobody notices this thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, we don't see it right now.
Yeah.
You know,
You know,
Right there.
well,
that's fine. That's okay.
Those didn't look like
we can
snakes.
gather them ourselves.
No, we got grub.
Or whatever they were.
Yeah.
Run away!
We see,
Run away. Run away.
something not right about what's going on here.
Hmm. I remember this boss.
This is actually a very.
I don't remember.
It's not because it's story wise or anything, but what you get afterwards.
Mud Whopper. Mud Whooper.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't do that. Oh, okay.
It looks like
We have to.
if what's that Pokemon I had that I don't remember the name of? Salad Jack.
Oh, Bulbasaur.
Yeah, if Bulbasaur hit the gym and got rid of the bolt.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot about Pokemon. I need that's something else I need to go back and learn about.
I'll have to tell you, I'm ashamed, sorta, but I don't know anything about Pokemon.
I don't know.
Thing.
I just
I'm a guy. Let me know.
Nice. I started one of them on stream, and I just named the Pokemon what I thought they should be named based on how they looked.
I mean, rip.
There you go. My first intro to Pokemon, I was already an adult. So when Pokemon was a big thing, I was just like, what the hell is this? I don't understand it. You know, kind of like how old folks were when I was playing video games.
Yeah.
So like, you know, they're like, I'm just like, I don't understand what Pokemon is. I you know, whatever. But, you know, to each their own. The only Pokemon game that I actually really did enjoy though was Pokemon Stadium. And it was, oh, is it on the, I heard it's on the Switch.
Yeah. Nice.
But the only thing is, though, the Pokemon Stadium back then on the N64, you could bring in your Pokemon from the Game Boy, and you can fight them with people.
Oh yeah. Wow. Nice.
So I don't know how like Stadium on the Switch works. So maybe,
But
you
people
know,
are saying that they might put the Game Boy games onto the Game Boy Advance and Game Boy section, then you might be able to trade them off in the stadium like that.
that'd be cool. I could definitely see that. I wouldn't mind playing that again. That was a fun game. I used to love Pokemon Stadium. Me and my cousins used to play the hell out of that game.
Yeah, Pokemon is one of those things. Like it was a little after my time, and I just never went to get into it.
Yeah.
I mean, I get the appeal of it. It's cool. I just missed it.
Yeah, for sure. When I was in like the things that I were into when it came to games and popularity, things like that, I know Matty T, you can attest, we had the cartoons that were made from the video games. Like we had the Mario cartoons, which were like 3 of them. And then we had like Mario 3 and Super Mario World. We had like Captain N and the Game Master. I don't know if you remember that.
Good.
Yeah, Captain N and the Game Master. We had Zelda, and Zelda cartoon was fantastic.
Oh, Link was a menace on that. Like,
excuse me,
he
princess.
was a horn dog.
He really was, bro. Like, he really was. But yeah, I mean, those games, like we had that. We had a few other game cartoons. I can't like call right off, but we had Battletoads. Which actually, to be fair, Battletoads was a cartoon first.
Yeah, I don't know if
we had Battletoads and we had Double Dragon cartoon. I don't know if you remember the Double Dragon cartoon or not.
I don't.
But yeah, that'll be episode 2. We'll go through some of the cartoons that were made from games.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised how many I used to watch. I was a Saturday morning cartoon nerd. Like, that's all I watched.
Yeah.
Double Dragon is so good. I'm so excited for the new one.
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude, that new Double Dragon is going to be fantastic. I was hoping they were going to do that because, they did the same thing with, what was it, the TMNT game, the Ninja Turtles game, which is fantastic, by the way.
Right, I forgot about that.
You can play that Ninja Turtle game without, with only one person owning the game?
Oh yeah, it's like Steam Remote Play or whatever.
Yeah, it was Steam Remote Play, yeah.
Nice.
I actually did like Double Dragon Neon, funny enough.
Oh yeah, we played that.
that.
I think we did it on stream.
We
Didn't
did. It was really good for what it was.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the soundtrack and everything.
Yeah.
And then Double Dragon 4 happened, and I was like, yeah, whatever. That wasn't all that to me. I don't know. But I need to get back into the River City games, because when we were playing it the last time, I have not played the other River City games or River City Girls.
Dude, River City Girls is so good.
Yeah, it is. Second one.
Yeah.
It keeps
You were
going.
protecting my sister.
I have to check that one out. I really want to, because, like I said, River City Ransom was one of those games I played a lot of, too. I just enjoyed the shit out of that game.
Yeah.
Are you okay? Are you
Yeah,
hurt
so
at
much
all?
fun.
All right, that is going to be it for us for this episode today. We had a blast playing Rogue Galaxy, which is a fantastic game. Thank you to our guest, Gamma. I appreciate you for stopping by and sharing your memories with us, man.
Great conversation. This was fun.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we'll definitely have to do it again. We want to have many guests, repeat guests. We don't care. We want to have everybody on here. This is fun. I love, sitting here talking about just games.
Right.
Yeah. That's
It's fantastic.
I just want to talk about games all the time. So
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so let us know in the comments what your favorite games were, your favorite RPGs, what your fondest memories of gaming were. Let us know what you guys think. But yeah, we will see you in the next one. I appreciate all of you guys for stopping in, and we'll see you the next time. Peace, everyone.
take it easy, guys.